Now that we've reviewed some of the basics about serving as a house operations volunteer, it's time to think about your shadow shift. This final module will prepare you for your first day of work at the house. We'll cover what to wear, where to park, getting inside, and much more. We know you'll have additional questions after training. Remember, you can ask for clarification or help at any time. Our Ronald McDonald House is centrally located in the Midtown Charlotte area, very close to both hospitals. The location is great for our guests, but not so great for traffic. Please plan to leave a few minutes early for your shadow shift so that you can get a feel for what traffic is like near the house during your shift time. Our house has a special parking lot designated for volunteers. This lot is located adjacent to the house and is connected by sidewalks. Please be sure to park your car in the volunteer lot and not in the lot behind the house, which is reserved for guest families. Now that you've parked, you've got to get into the house. If you attended a volunteer interest meeting, you've probably done this before, but we're just going to refresh your memory briefly. All of the exterior doors to the house are kept locked at all times for the safety of our guests. The front doors, which open onto our front lawn and porch, and our rear doors, which open onto the back patio, are only accessible to staff and guests. Volunteers and visitors must use the main entrance, located in the driveway, to gain admission to the house. Our main entrance is located in the driveway of the house under a covered porch. When you arrive for your shift, please remember to use this entrance. You will ring the doorbell to be admitted to the house. When you come into work as a house operations volunteer, your attire should be clean, neat, and above all, comfortable. Our volunteers are the face of our organization, so we want you to feel good about the way you look. Please be sure your clothing is modest and free from any offensive graphics or slogans. Jeans, pants, longer shorts or skirts, t-shirts, sweaters, all of these things are fine. If you would feel comfortable being seen by friends in public, you're probably dressed appropriately for the house. Many volunteers find that closed-toed shoes are preferable while working in the house, particularly in the kitchen. But there are no official restrictions on footwear so long as you are comfortable. We have designated spaces in the house for volunteers to keep their personal belongings. This is called the Volunteer Hub. There are hooks on the laundry room door for coats, and there is a drawer for keys, cell phones, purses, and whatever other supplies you carry with you. Please be sure to take your belongings with you when you leave. We find lots of water bottles, coats, and other items in our lost and found. If you're missing something after your shift, please be sure to check in the lost and found bin in the Volunteer Hub. As a house operations volunteer, the most important piece of your attire is your red apron. This is the symbol of the house operations volunteer. It is a way to help families immediately identify people who can help them. When you come in for your shift, please select an apron and wear it for the duration of your shift in the house. You'll also need to wear your name tag. Volunteer name tags are located in bins in the hub and are sorted alphabetically by last name. Your volunteer ID number is located on the back of your name tag, so you will need to have your name tag on in order to start your shift. Our house operations volunteers clock in and clock out when they begin and end work in the house using a system at the front desk called VicTouch. This system uses your volunteer ID number to sign you in and sign you out. VicTouch is located on the computers at the front desk. Your shadow shift trainer will help you learn how to use the system to sign in for your shift. VicTouch is related to another system called VicNet that we will discuss later in the training. Now you need to find out what's going on in the house while you're here. there are a few key information centers that you will need to check. The first place you will find information about the day is on the Daily Happenings in the House form, which is posted at the front desk. This one-page form shows which house operations volunteers are scheduled for each shift, what special activities, tours, or groups are coming into the house, as well as any special updates or training notes. You will also want to check the Hub board. The Wipe-Off board is where staff members and other volunteers can list special projects that need your attention. You'll also want to check the Guest Room board. This wooden board shows which rooms are occupied, which are empty, which need turning over, and more. There are instructions on how to read the Guest Room board on the board's top corner. You will review all of these with your Hovshadowshift trainer. Your fellow house operations volunteers are your teammates during your shift, and getting to know them is one of the most important and the most fun parts of your job. Work together to decide who will work on certain projects and who will cover the front desk. Remember that you can take turns and switch responsibilities throughout the duration of your shift. Be sure that each house operations volunteer has a walkie-talkie so that you can stay in touch easily during your shift. Staff also have a walkie-talkie in the main office to make answering your questions easy. Your teammates and the staff are here to help you when you need it. Don't be afraid to ask if you need help with a project or help at the desk. You are never alone in the house. There is always someone who can help you. Once you complete your shadow shift, you'll be ready to sign up to work in the house, and there are a couple of different ways that you can do that. If you would like to come on the same day at the same time each time you volunteer, you will want to work a fixed schedule. The volunteer services staff can help you to secure a day and time, either once a week, every other week, twice a month, or every month that you can volunteer. Many of our volunteers choose a flexible schedule and use our scheduling program called VicNet to choose shift times. You will need to use VicNet if you would like to choose volunteer times that are different from week to week. The online calendar lets you view times and days that volunteer shifts are available, and you can sign up for them at your convenience. There is a user manual for VicNet on the volunteer resource page to help you use the online calendar when you are ready. You probably still have several questions about working in the house. We hope we'll be able to answer most of them during your shadow shift. Please remember that you can always ask for help or clarification if you have questions. Our staff is here to help. We want you to feel very comfortable volunteering in the house and doing your assigned tasks. Congratulations! That was the last training video. You are all set to take your next step. Now that you've completed this online training, it's time to schedule your shadow shift. At this time, please call or send an email to the volunteer services staff to get help scheduling your shadow shift. Thank you for your attention to all of this information, and I hope you'll have a great volunteer experience. Thanks for joining our team.